Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we keep unlocking these milestones when I load the game, and I don't know why. It's very, very strange. Regardless, we are of course working on this area down over here. So I want to get some roads being built out over here. So somewhere around here, there we go. We'll take that out 112 meters approximately. There we go. And straight on down over here, that's technically like 114, but it'll do. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, just close enough to perfect. There we go. So something about like that. Wow, I just noticed this bridge here. That's intriguing. I'm going to take that out of there for the moment because I want to just smooth out this terrain here. There we go. Something along the lines of that, and I want this to not be an elevated road. There we go. That'll do much better. Phenomenal. So next up, of course, we would take this guy and we would go up like 100 or like 220 or 224 would technically be the distance to go here. That's 227, 223. That's 224 right there. So we take that in, and then this could connect in over to this intersection. This would not be exactly a 90-degree angle. An exact 90-degree angle would be here. I don't know how I feel about that being an exact 90-degree angle with regard to this very strange intersection that occurs. I think the correct way to handle this would be to take this section of street out, just leave this be right here on that 90-degree angle, and then rebuild this section of street with the idea being that it comes in at such a sharp angle though, right? That's the reason why it's doing this. So this guy could come in something like that, but does basically the same thing. Yeah, I guess it'll have to do. Okay, at least for now, until I come up with a better idea anyway. So something along the lines of that, and then this guy would just come straight on up here. That's only 70 meters, so that's fine. This would then, of course, come over here, and is that? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so this would come over here, 224 meters. This would go down 224 meters. Is that exactly 90? Yes, it is. And then this would come in over here, 224 meters. Cool. Something like that. Now, this would be 112-ish. I guess 110 will work. And then this would come over here 90 degrees, which would be right here. And would go in like this. Awkward intersection, but that's because of the angling of this, right? So if we want to maintain the grid outside of this area, that is, unfortunately, I think going to be necessary. So something kind of like that. Now, on-off ramps are going to be nightmarish. I think that's very clear. Over here, the on-off ramps are right here. So we would just omit the on-off ramps here. Same with the on-off ramps that would go here. So that would mean we only need on-off ramps right here for right now. So that's actually a reasonably doable thing. We would take this down like so, and then do an on-ramp here, and an off-ramp that would go about like that. Although, this is a little far out, but it doesn't really matter, but I want to do it again. More like that. Okay, so then we would omit on-off ramps here, omit on-off ramps here for the moment. We would absolutely need them here. Are we going to hit any pillar issues as we go through this area? So that's going to be 114. I guess that's close enough. Yes, there's a pillar issue there. Okay. So actually, that's not a pillar issue at all. That's it's fully filled in underneath issue. Okay, that's fine. We'll just take that out of there. We'll bring this in. And then bring this guy down to basically the city limits. Is it going to be a slightly longer block than the others, I think? But I think it's probably okay. So that should be reasonably fine. We just bring this guy over like this, and then our highway, of course, comes on down. So we can turn snapping back on there and then bring this guy down as we can, which is pretty much going to be about here until we buy additional territory down this way. So that'll be the best we can do there for the moment. In terms of on-off ramps, we would have... This block feels really short, doesn't it? It feels incredibly short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half-ish. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to count that as 13 because of the 2 halves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, this should be a couple of blocks longer here. So instead of being 224, it should be 1, 2, 3. About here, 240. And that's because of the width of the highway. Okay, that makes sense to me. Ooh, I wanted to undo that one, but Control-Z opens the economy tab. Hopefully. So we're going to need to get rid of this section of highway. We'll need to extend these out to be this correct width, right? And, ooh, that was not the angle we were looking for. Not the angle we were looking for at all. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. So then this guy would connect straight up over here at a 90-degree angle like that. Cool. And then this guy would connect straight on over here. And so would this one. Approximately like that. That definitely looks better in terms of proportions. Now, we're going to need to determine where up here this needs to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bulldoze a bit of Underhill Street, in fact, all of Underhill Street. And then we're going to take that up over to right about here-ish. And then that's going to connect over here. There we go. Awkward angles, but that's to be expected. And then this guy just goes straight on up like that. Okay, so there we go. Now we can do on-off ramps right here. No problem whatsoever with that. So let's just hop over to our highway, get the snapping all set up correctly, and bring in an on-ramp somewhere over here, and an off-ramp somewhere over here. That'll do. We don't need to do any others over on this side. So that is this set of meta blocks actually not quite done because we need to get this done, right? So this will need to be an on-off ramp. So an on-ramp specifically right up over here. We have a bit of a pillar issue there, but we can just have it be a little further up. That's okay. And then we can have it come down over there about like that. So that'll be fine. That gets this area broadly completed. Okay. So that's definitely intriguing. No doubt about that. These are going to have to head over. We can develop a meta block over here. And of course, this highway is going to need to be a little bit repurposed, but that's fine. So ticking forward a bit here so that we have our time updated properly. We know that we have a big demand for commercial, but we still have a lot of commercial areas over here. We're developing these new areas down this direction specifically for light residential. That's the idea anyway. So I'm going to position about here. Do we just zone everything here light residential? Like all of this? I don't really like the way that the marquee select tool did that. I guess we grab it like here. We can do something along the lines of this and then just not get anything on this side of the highway for now, but we can toss in that little area. Sure. Something like that could work. So let's let that get developing, and we'll see what ends up happening with our demand. If we need more demand, we've got more space out over here, right? So we've got more space to develop this direction, more space to develop over here as well. So there's another construction project underway over there. Seems reasonably fine. I want to take a look at our power situation. Okay, we're going to be full in 2 hours. We are currently producing 233 megawatts out of our solar power plant. So we can see that this battery is charging up 50 megawatt hours, and our emergency battery station of 500 megawatt hours is also charging. So they're charging at maximum capacity. They're going to be full in a couple of hours, but the sun will be down fairly soon as well. There's no water coming from the tap. Ah, yes, this area would in fact not be connected up because we don't have pipes going through the highway. So we're going to need to have a set of combined pipes that follows down like this highway here. And then we'll also do it over this highway, connecting over this direction, like that. And then also along this highway, about like that. So getting all of those crossings done there. Yes, so we have 1, 2, 3. That should do the trick. Okay, that doesn't solve the electricity issue. Right, these pipes carry fresh water and sewage, but the pipes that are under roads carry electricity. So electrical conduit is definitely something we can run across here. The question is, how do we want to go about doing it? I think the answer is we bring the conduit over here, something like that. And then this would need to connect up somewhere over here, right? So like that. That's only having one line of power across here. But that does do the trick for the moment. We might want to have another line of power that crosses somewhere over like here-ish. Or maybe even like here.
Another letter from our
we'll have one there, and then I'll do a third, which is going to simply go
Me and my sister
here.
Love you. Oh,
there we go. That'll bridge the power reasonably well. So now the question is, how exactly are we doing on that light residential front? Internet connection. Yes, that is a thing that we don't really have down here. So we may want to actually put a radio mast, like over here-ish. Yeah, I think here will do absolutely fine. So there we go. A radio mast there will absolutely do. How's our postal coverage anyway? It's not great, is the answer. It's definitely not great. How big are post offices? We may want to have a post office down here. So we would put that about here. Just to make sure that we've got some post down this way, right? High rent, yeah. I mean, we have a housing shortage. That's to be expected. Absolutely no surprises there. I'm going to take Primrose Street out of here, and we're going to rerun this road because we need to get it the correct length, right? And we know that this is supposed to be about 240. So we can put it there. And now this road can be lined up with that. This block is too big. Never mind. We'll try with the 224 again. Yeah, about here. Okay, this angling is obviously wrong. What is going on with that angling? I don't know. Let's just get this lined up here and then lined up here. There we go. That's about right. So that looks good. Now we're going to want to bring this guy down approximately 224 down here. So is that just going to connect directly in? Pretty much, yeah, actually. Having a hard time getting that to snap to angle. There, this'll do. So we'll get that put in there, and then we'll need to, of course, run this guy out over this direction, 112 meters. Now, 224 south, but we do have a... Ah, right. This is not a pillar issue. This is the highway decided not to be at the right altitude issue. That's fine. That's because we built it too quickly. And so we're just going to turn snapping back on and bring this guy right on out to about here, then about here, then about here. And hopefully now we have no pillar issues, but we definitely don't have an issue with the, hang on, 224-ish. I want to snap only to angle, please. Thank you. Right there. Okay. And then we bring this guy in for a mildly awkward intersection right here. That's not mildly awkward. That's incredibly awkward. I'm going to take these out of here for now, and we're going to redo our curve tool here. So we're just going to bring it down and in like that, and then down and out like that, and then down over here. I hate that. I hate that so, so much. Let's try it building it from this side and just bringing it in about like this. That's overlapping that utility pole. We're probably going to have to take that out of here for now. Okay. Something a bit more like that. And then the utility pole can just go over like that again. Perfect. So that'll do. That is definitely better. This is too long on this side. Okay. I'm going to extend this out here. No, not curve tool, thanks. I'm going to extend this out to be here. So what is this length? It's 224. Why is that too long? That doesn't feel right at all. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Why would 224 not be correct here? I guess the answer is the highway must be slightly off-center. Okay. We'll take these back out. Back in curve tool. And we're just going to bring this right on down like so. Obviously, we're going to have to redo this guy. Oh, I hate this corner. I hate that corner so, so much. We're going to have to bring this guy back out. Curving it around like so. And then it's going to have to come down here. And curve a little bit more like that. It's better, but it's not great. And then we build that power line. Okay, so now we need to figure out how long this should end up being. So from here down to here should be like, how many blocks should this be? Hang on, not curve tool. So we know that this should end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And then we can go, I feel like that's too small, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so we need 2 additional blocks here, right? So that's 3, but one of these is going to get eaten up by this street going over. Like that. That should be the correct size. At least for these purposes. Should be good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. It has to be good enough to where I don't look at it and be like, that is disgusting. That is the criteria here. So we're going to bring this on over. There we go. And bring this guy up. Of course, we have a pillar issue there. So that's fine. We'll get that knocked out of there. And rebuilt. Okay. So something like that. This is actually 200 meters now. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place with this, to be honest, but I'm sure it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. Okay, so something along the lines of that will do. And one more out over this direction. Wow, we actually managed to squeak right through those pillars. I like it. And we went slightly too long here, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. Yep. Indeed we did. Okay. There we go. From here, we can just leave this be, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, this is actually 5. Hang on. So this needs to be a highway. Okay. So we'll definitely put that in. That will be pretty much right here. And then that would get connected in right like that. Okay. So this highway is going to be extended down over this way. And we're just going to have this in as a marker for now. So that's okay. I want to get our lower roads built first because those are, after all, the actually important roads. So we're going to do something like this, and these can then be built out to the city limits. There we go. And this can be built out to the city limits as well. So something along the lines of this. That was 89 degrees. Hang on a moment. Get out of there. It's not going to be perfect. Okay. It'll have to do. And then there's this road right here, which is probably also not going to be perfect, but it's good enough. So now that those are built, we can extend this highway on out and put it here and then out to the city limits. There we go. Slap in our big old roundabout. There we go. And of course, now we'll need to extend these roads a little bit. So we'll grab this here and bring it down. That's 115 meters. Okay. We'll just put it there for now. For this one, we'll put this one at 112. Actually, I'll put this one at 114. And we'll just run that intersection in mildly awkwardly, but that's not too bad. Especially when you consider things like this. It's okay. That was, I think, one lane too far there. Yes, that was definitely one lane too far. This is more like where we want to be. Okay, this gets extended out to the city limits. There we go. We build this guy over. Phenomenal. And we go down 112, which is here. We go out to the city limits here. And we can go slightly further south, although not very much. About there. And then we can connect this in, I suppose. It's quite awkward, actually. So what if we took Hawthorne Street out and we brought this in to be more like that? I feel like that'll work for the moment. We'll likely change that when we extend this out further. And do we want this road to very awkwardly continue down here? This would be the correct way to do the grid, but it's also horrific. So to that end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section of road out here. We're going to redo this yet again, now that we've fit this into this grid. So we're going to bring this guy out to come like so approximately. There we go. And then it's going to do something more akin to this, with this road being extended straight out. I don't love the curvature that is in it right now, but let's see what it looks like when this intersection goes in. That's not terrible. I think I want this to be a straight line, though. So that would mean bringing that in like that. And then maybe redoing this one more time to have it in curve mode. Be doing something kind of like that. It's probably horrific underneath there, but I mean, that's nicely hidden. Yeah, I think that's okay. We're going to have some road access here, so we'll get rid of that. And this guy is currently abandoned, as are these for the moment. We'll get that all zoned up, of course. So everything up over here can now be zoned light residential. Okay, that'll do for now. That gives us a bunch of additional light residential. Yeah. Hopefully that will help deal with some of these issues. We've got more light residential areas out over here that we can fill in, but we're not quite to that point yet. So we'll see how that ends up going. We probably have need of parks down over this way as well. I haven't been keeping up with parks. Yeah, we could definitely use some parks over here. I'm going to put in a small park right there. I'm going to put one in right about there. And then we could use some parks up over this direction, right? So right about here, that's going to eliminate some of those houses, unfortunately. I'm going to put one in here. And then one down over this direction, most likely. That'll work. We could use one up over here. There we go. And we could use one up over here. We're definitely a little behind on the parks out in these areas. No doubt about that. So we'll get some of those put in. We've definitely had a bunch of them out over here, but a park here would not be a bad idea. A park about here. Maybe one down over this way. Definitely one over this direction, and one over here as well.
the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts.
And then one over
We
here.
urge the public to remain calm during these breaks
Cool.
in service and to follow the guidelines.
So
on the
something
city's
about
website
like
on how
that.
to
We
plan
could
for these
definitely use a
temporary events.
couple more up this
This has been a
direction,
local
but
public service announcement.
I think this has to do with
Local
the
authorities are
population
urging the
density,
public to
with how
conserve
far
water and
the
reduce the
park
burden on the
actually
city
has
during this
effectiveness,
water shortage.
is the
Consider
theory.
installing a low-flush
So up
toilet,
over this way, we
cut
could
back on
definitely get
watering the
another
lawn,
park in.
and shower with a friend
About there.
whenever possible. This has been a local public service announcement.
Okay. So
You're
something like that.
listening to
There's a
Second
lot of
Mode,
extra
the
parks.
epitome
No doubt about
of
it.
Classical listening at home, or
But that'll do
wherever
for the
you
moment.
roam.
It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm
Housing
going to go ahead and do that.
shortage,
And
flooding
next
of parks
episode,
and
we are probably going to develop this area down over here. That shouldn't be too difficult, all things considered. But we'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.